What up, gang? Carolina Jackpot time coming at you on Wednesday morning. I hope you guys and gals are doing well today. It's about 4:30-ish, so we're going to drive to work real quick, and I'm going to tell you what I saw this morning when I got up. And now this is crazy, and it's kind of weird. You know, we spend all off season talking about transfer portal, talking about NIL, talking about all these outside things that have seemingly, well, they've changed college football for sure. A lot of us say they've ruined college football. I guess that's kind of up to you to decide. Bottom line is, there's more people watching college football now than ever. A lot of that has to do with the fact that sports gambling has become so accessible and so popular. That's why a lot of these people are watching it. Well, that's not the case with me. You know, I do gamble on the games recreationally, but I've been a college football fan for as long as I can remember, and a big one. So that's just something that's a little extra something that I've picked up here in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years or so. But anyway, now we're not supposed to be talking about transfer portal, NIL, none of that stuff. None of that's supposed to come into play during the season, and it hasn't. It's as if all that stuff just kind of been shoved to the back burner now. It's just like all offseason. Remember how everybody was talking about Fuddy-Duddy Dabo, and he doesn't use the portal, and he's going to be left behind, and blah, blah, blah. Well, as soon as the season starts and he wins a couple of games over terrible teams, nobody's talking about that anymore. We have a very short attention span with stuff. Well, all of a sudden, bam, one comes and gut punches college football in the middle of the night, really. And this is not a huge story, I guess, nationwide, but I looked at it and I thought it was one to make you kind of think. So this quarterback at UNLV, this Matthew Sluka, he puts out on his Twitter, Instagram, whatever, at 12:36 this morning, which would be 12:36 this morning would be 3:36 our time if he did this from Las Vegas, which I'm assuming he did because I saw the story about 4. Anyway, that's whatever. That doesn't matter. This kid has played in 3 games this year. He's a transfer quarterback that came from Holy Cross. He transferred to UNLV from Holy Cross, which to me in and of itself is strange. Holy Cross is in Massachusetts somewhere. It's like a Patriot League school or something in the FCS, and you know, all of a sudden we're going from the far northeast to Viva Las Vegas. Viva. Anyway, whatever. So apparently certain things that were promised to Matthew in order to come to UNLV have not been met. And then even after further discussions, they were not met. This is all according to this post here that you can see that's on the thumbnail. And I'm going to link this down in the description box below, the whole story, so you can read it. It's on CBS Sports. So he's played in 3 games. I'm assuming, and UNLV is 3-0. They're considered right now one of the top group of 5 teams. They've already beaten Kansas. Big win on the road on Friday night, if you'll remember, a couple of weeks ago now. And they beat Houston, which is a power conference team, even though they're not playing like one, in the opening week, 37-7. Just totally dominated them. And a lot of this was due to his plays, thrown for about 400 yards and like 6 touchdowns, I think. And he's ran for about 300 yards too. So he can do it all. And so this guy says in order to protect his red shirt, he's hitting the transfer portal, and he won't play. He's not going to play the rest of the season. He's taking his red shirt. then he'll be hitting the transfer portal because things didn't go my way. They didn't give me what they promised me. Now, I've got something to say about this. To me, first of all, if they promised him certain things, them being I guess that's the UNLV NIL collective, I guess, is who this is coming from. I guess these are the offenders here. I don't know if former Mizzou head coach Barry Odom, who's now the UNLV head coach, has any say in this or not. I would imagine that he does, because UNLV is not like it's not some huge, intricate, well-funded athletic program that you might think. Really not. So if they promised him certain things and they didn't meet them, or they lied to him, then that's on them. That's wrong. That's something that they should have done. It needs to be corrected. Is that the case? Is this a little bit, or is Matthew maybe stretching the truth a little bit? Is it maybe a me thing here? And he might have just decided, I'm just going to take my ball and go home. Who knows? Who really knows at this point? But this is a pretty big deal. And look, I agree that, I've told you this, I agree that these guys should get compensation for what they're doing. There's a lot of people who've made a lot of money, lined a lot of pockets, and gotten rich over the years off the backs of these guys who haven't been making a dime, other than they're getting a free education if they were on scholarship. Okay? But at the same time, sorry, Jackpot got to groove himself a little bit. Excuse me while I do that. Also, they've been given too much power. They've been given too much leeway. It cannot be to where they have all the power. They have all the power to do whatever they see fit. And I don't think that's the way that any of this was intended to work out. But now, as the old saying goes, it's hard to put the toothpaste back into the tube. So what do you do? And I'm sorry, I don't know why. At 12:30 something in the morning, he sends this out. So I'm assuming that was 12:30 something Las Vegas time, or it doesn't matter if it's East Coast time, whatever. It's real late at night. It's after Walmart's closed. So you shouldn't be making these announcements at that point, just in my opinion. Unless it may be that the straw that broke the camel's back happened right before then. Maybe there was some kind of meeting on the phone or in person not long before that, and then he just made his decision, and then boom, I'm going to send it out so everybody knows. It could be that. Or is it kind of a bitch move that we're just doing this in the middle of the night and we're going to pack up everything and run? I don't know. That's open for interpretation. But my thing is this. Yes, it's Matthew Sluka who plays for UNLV. Nobody largely who's a fan of big-time college football, especially those of us. There's a lot of people down here in the South who act like the SEC that's the only thing that there is in terms of college football, and you know that you do it. You do. There's big-time college football all over the country. Now, there's passionate college football fans all over the country. They're not just in the South here. mean, what if that were Cam Ward at Miami who made that decision? What if that were Quinshaw Junkins? Ohio State that made a decision like that. What's his name? Caleb Downs at Ohio State. I'm trying to think of big-time transfers. Trevor Etienne at Georgia. What if he decided to take his ball and go home like that? I mean, that would throw a monkey wrench right square in the middle of the landscape of big-time college football if that were to happen. Well, it could. I mean, they could do it just like this guy did. Take their ball, go home. Because they didn't get what they wanted or what they were promised. It's really crazy. It's nuts that all the power has been given to the players now. That this is not sustainable. This model that they've got going on right now, it's not going to work. You simply cannot give all the power to 19, 20-year-olds and their agents and their parents over the sport of college football. You can't. I mean, there's got to be, and I'm not the one to come up with the answer. Oh, what would you do about it, Jack? But I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do. There's no one is regulating anything, and it's crazy, and it's ruined. This is going to ruin UNLV's season probably because this guy was a key piece in their offensive game plan. So it's probably going to derail their season. And maybe they have no one to blame but themselves. I don't know. Once again, I just think that it's nuts that right here taking a red shirt now it's no longer up to the coach. It's no longer up to the coach. It's no longer up to you. It's now it's up to them. Now, these college football coaches, they get paid a lot of money right now, but my God, I mean, that is a very, very difficult job. I mean, not only do you have to hire coordinators, you have to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. You have to hire assistants. You should make sure they're doing what they're doing. You've got to be the lead ambassador for embodying a culture within your program, instilling a culture in your program, or maybe repairing a broken culture within your program if you're new. And then you have all these kids here who you have to be in charge of re-recruiting your roster every single year. You have to head that up in addition to recruiting high school talent every single year. And then some shit like this comes up. Just when you think, I can sit back, relax, and just coach because it's the season. It's the season's here. We can just take a no. Then something like this jumps up and bites you. It's nuts. It's really crazy. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do that. It takes a special kind of individual, I'm sure, to head up one of these programs. Very, very difficult job. Yeah, they get paid a lot of money, and it seems like they're mind-boggling numbers, but that's what the market demands, and they do work for what they're getting extremely hard. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about this? What do you think about taking your ball and going home in the middle of the season? At least this guy, I will say this, at least he was big enough to let everybody know what he was doing. He let everybody know what his intentions were. He didn't try to sugarcoat it, so we can at least applaud him for that. I know of one certain player last year on a team, well, maybe very near and dear to my heart, who was one of the top NIL paid players in the conference, at one point termed the NIL king, who this decided he wasn't going to play the season, farted around with an injury all year, and then hit the transfer portal and left after the season. So, yeah, I mean, at least this kid was a stand-up individual in that regard. Even though, you know, the timing of it in the middle of the night, that just all seems kind of weird to me. So anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like I said, I'm going to link this story down in the description box as well. Anyway, it's time to go to work. I will see you guys later on. Appreciate it. Peace, and I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Woo!